Yo boys, what is up? It's your boy John here, and today we're going to be going over a tier list for Shatterline, the newest game on Steam. I'm sure it's not the newest game, but it's a pretty new game. It's a good FPS. It seems pretty good. It's kind of like a Dirty Bomb Call of Duty type of game, and I'm taking a lot of interest in it. And right now I'm just kind of bored, feeling like recording. It's been such a long time since I've actually done anything like this, and figured why not, you know? If anybody wants to see anything else from Shatterline or me, like it up. I appreciate it. So let's start off. We'll just go left to right. So Brisa. So I want to just start this off and clarify it by, I think I'm going to rank this by escort mode only right now. I think these characters are going to rank a little bit differently when it comes to expedition, and perhaps even team deathmatch, demolition when that's added. Because as of now, we only have Team Deathmatch, Conquest, and Escort. Also, maps are going to depend a lot too, but this is just as of the first week of this game being on early access. I'm thinking of a video idea, and this was kind of it. It's generic, it's basic, but hopefully you guys like it. I like these kind of videos. I like to just chill, eat some shit, and watch tier list videos. So hopefully you guys can share my opinion. Let me know in the comments below if you have any disagreements or anything like that, because I'd love to see what you guys think. But anyhow, Brisa. I think that Brisa is really good. She's incredibly powerful right now because the only escort map, man, the sight lines are just crazy. This chick's ultimate is incredibly good. If you didn't know, she just will blow through orbit while he's in his ult, which is the other character over here. So Brisa is really strong. She has a really good ultimate. She takes some skill to play, I would say, to use her ult. A cloak is not going to be hard to use. It's literally just going to turn you invisible. And then her mine that she has is insanely strong. It is on a very low cooldown. It takes, in some guns, it takes 2 magazines, 2 full mag dumps to get out of that thing. If you don't know what Brisa's mine is, it's basically if you step over it, it's going to shroud or encase you in a bunch of crystalline. And it sucks. It is really rough to get out of it. Not only that, you're taking damage over time the whole time you're in it. So if you're not actively trying to escape it, it's going to kill you. Not to mention, if she's nearby, she's going to kill you too. I'm going to put Brisa in A tier. I don't think that she's... I don't know. I don't see her as being like S tier, like you need to have this character on your team or anything like that. I think she's really good. Between the two recon classes, it's definitely going to come down to personal preference, I think. I think that Brisa is going to be someone that's... Sorry if I pronounce her name wrong or differently every single time you hear me say it, but I don't know. But, yeah, I think she's an A tier, and for that reason, I'm going to skip to Kite and also put him in A tier. They're both recon classes, meaning they can both get to an elevated position, which is amazing. We don't exactly know the full extent of how strong that's going to be going down the road, but it looks like other characters are able to get to elevated positions by using the boxes that are placed around the maps that you can kick and interact with. If you put them underneath of a high ledge, you can also not crouch, but jump on them, vault on them to get to these higher spots. So, recon classes are really good. They definitely get an early game advantage. They can get to places that nobody else can. I wouldn't say they're 100% necessary to have on the team, but I do think that they're both good. And the reason that Kite and Brisa belong in the same tier, at least for now, is because they fill similar roles. And I think that Kite is better close quarters. He, unlike Brisa, he has a C4 type mine, which is great for escort. You know, if somebody tries to pile on a bomb, you can always toss it on there and get a couple of kills. Really strong ability. That his ultimate ability is also really strong. He can shoot his revolver and then it leaves a trail of crystalline behind it for a few seconds. Really, really powerful gatekeeping kind of tool there. And he's just a really powerful character in general. I do have to rank these guys and girls kind of close to each other though. The next one though is one that, in my opinion, is going to be a point of topic for a while. Malva is an easy S tier. The reason for this is because she is the only medic in the game. Now, Pill is also considered a support / medic character. The problem with Pill is that he doesn't actually heal people. He can only revive you with his drone. His drone just revives. That's it. It's just, I mean, it's a good drone. Don't get me wrong, but Malva's the only one who can actively heal you. And if you didn't know, all these characters level up as you play them, and they get, you know, better passives. And one of the other passives to Malva is she gets more medkits. These medkits, doesn't matter if you're at 1 HP, they'll take you to full HP. So Malva is incredibly strong. She's incredibly strong in a 1v1 fight. If you try to fight her and, you know, you shoot her a bunch, you duck back to reload, if you hit her a few times, she can toss out her own medkit, heal up fully, and push you. before you even have a chance to kind of recuperate and regain your own health. So Malva's incredibly strong at just playing independently, and then when you want to play with a team, you have that ability to do that. The drone that she has is kind of lackluster. It's not like it's something that you're going to see yourself getting a bunch of kills with. It's not the mainstay of her kit. Personally, I think it should have been on somebody else probably, but it's not a bad piece of equipment to have. You know, it's nothing that anyone's going to complain about. And her ultimate, if you didn't read the tooltip or you don't know, provides 20% damage reduction and active healing. Malva will probably either get a nerf on Malva at some point, or we're going to get another character that's going to be able to do something similar as far as healing, because right now she is super uncontested. There's nothing that even comes close to her. Personally, I think that Pill shouldn't, we'll talk about him later when we get to him, but I think that Pill should have been changed and his ult should be like an AoE revive or something. He should be more medic incorporated, because right now, like I said, Malva has taken just the full front line on the medic thing, and you can play her as a medic or you can play her as independently as you want. I want to say this right now because I've noticed this all the time, and I'm going to talk about this later, but please revive your teammates when you see them. The two characters in this game, anybody can revive. We'll say that off the jump. Any single character on this roster can revive. But if you're playing support, which is Malva and Pill, that means that you'll revive them with full HP. Otherwise, you'd get revived with half. That's the only difference. But I've just been noticing a lot, you never get revived in this game. I think it's just because it's new and it's really not that obvious, but try to revive people when you can. I think they'll appreciate it. But yeah, Malva, easy S tier. Next up is our boy Mongoose. Mongoose, man, I really, really like Mongoose. He is a really fun character. I love the dash that he has. The smoke grenade is just incredible with Escort, and the frag is super powerful. You can cook it too. His ultimate is a little lackluster. It's a grenade launcher, but it's a proximity-based one. So it's not like you're pulling it out, whipping it out, and just shooting straight at someone and killing a whole horde of people. You have to kind of plan out where you're going to land your shots at and stuff. But he's a pretty basic character in that regard. I'm going to put him as an A tier. I think Mongoose is definitely deserving of that, just because of the utility he brings. Even if his ultimate isn't crazy good, he can lock down some choke points for sure with his ultimate, but he's got the smoke grenade to help you push, he's got the frag to help you flush out enemies, and even if you can't flush them out with that, he does have the grenade launcher, like I said, to hold choke points and do things like that. So Mongoose is pretty powerful. He's definitely not a weak quote-unquote character, and I think that's a trend you'll kind of notice. I think most of the characters in this game are pretty balanced right now, as of now, besides Malva, right, because she's in this role where it's just, she's uncontested. Orbit. Orbit is a really cool character. I think that people are really going to gravitate him because he just looks so different, and he's got this badass thing about him whenever he ults. Orbit, I think you can play him in a few different ways, right? You can play him offensively, you can play him defensively. I guess we should start off talking about his ultimate. So his ultimate's going to make you super incredibly tanky. It's going to give you a ton of armor. As I mentioned earlier with Brisa, she can one-shot you still. Certain characters in this game are still going to be able to one-shot you with their ultimates. But yeah, I mean, I've been in situations with this ultimate where it's active, and I literally can, like, 1v3 people, you know? I mean, they'll kill me, but it takes 3 people gunning me down directly to kill me. So Orbit's really good. The drawback to him being in his ult is he can't sprint anymore. He does unlock a dash, so he can dash while doing that, and his dash actually does damage. So you have to be careful when you're around Orbit. And his playstyle is centered around SMGs. So you definitely want to watch out for Orbit. He's got the Swarm Grenade, which is just another tool. It's incredible on defense and offense. Offensively for pushing people, and then defense for just keeping people back. And the Spy Drone that he has is, again, another incredible tool that he has. I didn't really realize it at first, but not only does it mark enemies, it goes after them and actively explodes and does like 50 damage. I've gotten double kills with this thing. Like, you can throw it out on the payload and like mark everyone who's on it for your whole team, and then your drone will just try to blow everybody up as well. Orbit is incredibly strong on both sides of the field. I really like Orbit. I think he's a great character. I don't necessarily know if he's an S tier character. I think you're going to see Orbit in every game. I don't know. I still don't think that he competes with Malva's kind of just her ubiquitous being the only one of her character class, right? He's really strong. I definitely think there's an argument for Orbit to be an S tier. If you guys have that kind of defining thing, put it in the comment below. But as it stands, I think Orbit's definitely fair being an A tier operator. He's really strong, but I don't know if I would consider him to be like overpowered or like must-have. Malva is a must-have in my opinion. Either team, both teams should have a Malva, like straight up. Now we get on to our boy Pill. Pill is somebody that I initially loved because he's just funny and he's an interesting looking character. He's got his cute little drone. So as I mentioned before, his whole gimmick is he can revive people with a drone. Now this drone is on a pretty long cooldown at low levels. And I just mean low levels as in, you know, if you're a level 1 Pill player. As you play Pill, you're going to level him up. But at low levels, it's a pretty long cooldown and it's for a revive. And granted, you're going to get it off. The drone almost always gets to the person or the target. You can even revive yourself with this. So if you think that you're about to die, you know, if you want to rush a room, drop the drone. And if you get killed, the drone will run up to you and revive you. The drone's only good for 1 revive. It's not going to just revive everybody on the team and keep running around. It revives 1 person, drops a smoke grenade on that body. And, like, actually, I don't think I've ever gotten killed while being revived by the drone. I don't know if it's, like, just impossible or people have never seen me, but they never try to kill me. Like, I don't know what it is, but if you're fighting a Pill, watch out, because if he does drop his drone before he dies, he's going to pop back up after you've pushed, be behind your team or whatever, and then kill you guys. Pill is strong. Pill can be really powerful for that reason. The drone is definitely his highlight. Next up, you've got his crystalline grenade, which is going to slow you down and make it so you can't use abilities, basically silence you. Problem with this grenade, and it's probably for balancing, it seems like the explosive radius of it is extremely tight. Now, I will say this, if you tag someone with this grenade, or if you're tagged by it, you're a sitting duck. Like, you can mow them down with whatever you want. Your team can, you can, whatever. They're very easily shot. Like, you're slowed by a lot for, like, I think 2 seconds or so. And like I said, you can't use abilities. I don't know if it works on the premise of canceling abilities, though. So I don't think you can cancel people out of their ults or anything like that with that ability. Don't quote me on that, though. If you know, comment below. And then Pill's ult, which I said I think needs to be changed. Do I love Pill's ultimate ability? Yes. It's basically a shotgun that shoots Dragon's Breath rounds. That's the easiest way I can explain it to someone who's never played him before. You're going to aim for people, but don't expect it to be like a buck or a slug where when you hit, they're dead instantly. You're going to hit them, and they're going to burn. Now, they burn very quickly, but yeah, it's weird. It's an odd thing. I haven't really played with it in the usage of laying down basically a wall of fire with it. I don't think that the fire lasts long enough to make that viable. Pill's ult just seems a little weird. It's definitely cool. It's definitely awesome to use. Don't see it being incredibly good, though. I love Pill, but unfortunately, I just think with Malva being as good as she is, she makes him look worse. So I'm going to put Pill at a B tier here. Next up is our boy Ram. Ram, I really like him. Ram, Gears of War, okay. I really like him a lot. He's one of the only operators, in fact, might be, well, if you count Orbit, he's one of the only operators that has pretty much every single one of his abilities can kill people. He's got throwing axes, which are pretty damn good. He's got a charge blast, which is, again, pretty damn good. And you can also shoot movable terrain or interactable objects with this and shoot them in. I've had friends that have shot the van that's movable into a player and killed them on the initial highway push. It's really cool, really funny, awesome. And his ultimate is so cool. It's so badass. I love how he just goes up in the air and smashes down. That is incredible and awesome. And he is sweet. He can be killed during his ultimate. And I'm just going to say this now. Ram is really fun, and these are the last 2 characters. They have exo abilities, which are abilities that allow them to kick down doorways to open up new choke points, which that alone is incredibly strong in escort. I mean, I have lost in 1 game based on the premise of us not having a character. Keep in mind, you can always switch characters in the middle of a game as long as they're not being played by someone else. So if you need that choke point broke open, play either Rom or Strix here, and you're going to be able to get through that door, and then switch back to whoever you wanted to play. But yeah, Rom, I want to rate Rom higher than what I'm going to put him, but I think the problem with Rom is he requires a little bit too much skill, quote-unquote, to be as good as some of these other people, right? So with Orbit, you know, you're ulting, you got that free armor, you've got the great Swarm Grenade. With Mongoose, you got a frag, you know, you've got Kite with the good C4, and then you've got Brisa with the amazing mind. All these things that are kind of just, look, we get it. We know how to use it, and we know how to get kills with it pretty easily. Rom is a throwing axe. That's not going to be the easiest thing to land in this game. Is it possible? Yes, of course. His ultimate, it does take some learning curve to be able to use it effectively. And then his charge blast, again, some learning curve to be able to use it effectively. Can you learn it and do it and be amazing with Rom and make him work and better than anyone else? Yeah, sure, it's possible. There's probably a Rom main that's going to find this video and comment all over it. But I love you. Thanks for being here. For that reason, I'm going to put Rom... I don't want to put him lower than Pill. I don't think that's fair. But if he didn't have the EXO ability to go through walls, I actually would put him as a C tier, genuinely speaking. But I think that just because of that utility, he's at least a B tier. All right, and that leaves us with our last character, Strix. She's not C tier. Don't freak out. Don't throw your tables, anything like that. I actually think that Strix is another S tier character. Strix is insane. So first off, the cryo wall that she can put down, the mindlets. Insanely powerful grenade for escort. You know, just giving yourself cover and the versatility in that, and being able to just, hey, if your teammate's down, plop down the grenade and then revive them. Giving yourself new angles, giving yourself new ways to combat the enemy. Just a great ultimate utility tool. And then B, her other grenade, the crystalline grenade that she has, it's almost like the swarm that Orbit has, but it's so much better. It kind of is like a growth, and it grows forward from where the grenade lands, and wow, this thing will stop an attacking team in their tracks. It does a lot of damage, and it slows, and it's just super powerful. And likewise, if you are doing the attacking, you can throw it into a choke point where you think an enemy's going to rush, or, you know, the closest choke point to their spawn. Throw it in there and kind of let it make them have to go a different route, longer, perhaps giving your team more time on the payload, which is always great. And then finally, just a super straightforward basic upfront, a minigun. The minigun is great. Nothing too incredibly special about the minigun. It's not like it has explosive bullets or anything like that. It's just a really good ultimate. There's nothing wrong with it. She can shred an entire team easily if she's in the right positioning. That's the key with Strix is, though. She takes a little bit more skill as far as that team wipe capability. If I'm going to talk about characters in here that have a team wipe ultimate, Ram has got it. He can definitely wipe a team, but it's just not going to be an easy one for him. You know, it's going to have to be one of those moments where they're all spawning, all running the same direction, and you're going to get it. Strix, you use that minigun, and it's very possible you kill, mow down 2 or 3 people immediately, and then you see another 2 or 3 lined up, and you mow them down as well, and you just get a team wipe. So Strix is definitely up there with that. And again, we talk about all the other characters. I think Strix is worthy of an S tier. The only one that I would say really could compete with her is maybe Orbit. Like I said, Orbit is definitely one of those characters where, again, comment below, but it's definitely possible that Orbit is a contender for the S tier. I mean, it's possible Orbit could be S. I think he's rightfully an A. There's no way I could really see him in B with these guys. Pill needs a buff, in my opinion. Yeah, Pill is good. I like Pill, but I do think he needs something to put him with the pack. Ram is good. He is an A to an S tier if you're good with him. He can easily be an A or S tier character if you're good with him and you're used to the way his ultimate works and all that. Also, why is the C below? Okay, I just realized that. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of my final verdict for that. Let me know what you guys think. The only people on this list that I'm kind of indecisive about as far as their placements, in my opinion, would be Orbit. Do you think Orbit should be an S tier character, or do you think Orbit's good in the A tier? And then Strix. I did kind of just fumble around there with her between B and A. I don't know. And then do you really agree with the S tier Malva pick? I don't know about you guys, but I definitely think that Shatterline desperately needs a new medic. And then what else do you guys want to see in Shatterline? And if you want to see any kind of videos from me, please let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a nice day.